Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You gotta help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I
Okay.
don't need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
This is the matter of Clarissa Dixon versus Natalie Martin. I understand that you two are cousins. And Ms. Dixon, you were suing her for $3,283. You said she was negligent in the handling of your vehicle.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
you believe that she should pay you for that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
On March 28th, I was driving and got pulled over by the police. I was stopped for a busted tail headlight. And within that stop, I was arrested for a failure to appear in court for a misdemeanor vandalism charge. I bonded out.
So you had a warrant out there.
Yes, ma'am, I did. I was bonded out the next day.
Okay.
I reached out to Natalie, who was taking care of my 3-year-old daughter. I was staying with her after this arrest until my court date. My court date was on May 12th, which is when I drove myself with my friend to the court, in which I was sentenced to 6 weeks in jail. At this moment, I gave my keys to my friend who was with me, and I told her to give the keys to Natalie, who I was staying with, and my daughter would be staying with as well. When I told my friend to give the keys to Natalie, I also told her to make sure to tell Natalie not to drive my vehicle. I had squeaky brake pads that needed to get fixed. So I didn't want anybody to, ruin the cause of the car. I just wanted the car to stay there to be safe and not accrue any other charges since I did drive to court. As I was in jail, I was in communication with Natalie and ensuring that my car was okay and it was safe and that nobody was driving it, and Natalie was ensuring me that no one was driving my vehicle. On June 9th, I am released from jail 2 weeks early. I ride shared to Natalie's, and to my surprise, I see that my vehicle has busted windows. I do have pictures of this if you would like to see this as well.
Well, it's your evidence. If you want me to see, that's the only way I can see.
Yes, ma'am. As you can see, my passenger side windows were busted. There's plastic tape around them. You kind of can't tell with the tape, but the exterior of the window frames is also broken. And there's a little dent under the front door handle.
Front door handle.
As well. As I'm looking through the car, I'm noticing that my daughter's iPad is not in the car as well. My daughter kind of has a bad habit of always leaving her iPad behind the passenger seat sleeve.
And you forgot to tell them to get the iPad out, right?
And forgot to tell them to get the iPad out.
How old is your daughter?
My daughter is 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her name is Jordan, and she's beautiful, ray of sunshine.
Okay, so the iPad was missing?
The iPad was missing as well. Obviously, I'm coming home from jail, so I'm a little upset. This is exactly why I gave my car to Natalie, to make sure that something like this didn't happen. So I go to the front door and I, knock on the door, and I'm
Wait a
trying
minute, you left something else out. Didn't you get some parking violations too?
I didn't find that out at this time.
Okay.
At this time, I'm just coming straight from jail. I'm trying to see my daughter, obviously, reunite with my cousin, try to figure out anything that's been happening. This is the last thing that I'm expecting to see is my car vandalized.
Okay.
So I go to the front door, I knock on the door, Natalie comes out, and of course I'm a little upset. What happened to my car? I thought it was gonna be safe being here. Natalie tells me that she took my car to the beach and that there were some boys that were vandalizing vehicles, and that is what happened to my car. She took no responsibility. She doesn't think she's responsible for this whatsoever. And so that is why we're here today. I'm suing for those charges, the iPad, as well as a few weeks later, me being notified by the city of Santa Monica that I have 2 unpaid parking tickets that have now doubled once I am being aware of the parking tickets. So now that's an additional charge as well.
All right. Did you ever talk to Natalie while you were in jail?
I did.
Did you ever ask her where was your car?
I did.
Could you leave it on the street parked or in the driveway? Did she have a a driveway large enough for your car?
No. So she had no driveway. It was street parking. So she would have to move the car from side to side twice a week, in which when I was communicating with her and having conversations with her over the phone very temporarily, she was saying everything was fine. I was always checking on my car. I was making sure that nobody was driving it, and she was telling me that nobody was driving it. So to my surprise, when I get out of jail, this is what I am met with.
All right, Ms. Martin, let me hear from you.
Hello, Judge.
Hello.
Clarissa is my little cousin, about 18 years older than her.
You're 18 years older than her?
About
Really?
18. Yeah, I know.
So you real grown, as they say.
Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm real grown.
You don't have a car?
I do have a car, ma'am. I've known her since she was just a little girl. She is my cousin through her mother, and that's my aunt. And she was pretty much out of the picture, her mother, and she was raised by her father, but he wasn't really home much.
So you telling me all that to say what?
That basically she doesn't have the best moral integrity. And that
you knew, and you knew that.
Right, but that's my little cousin, and I'm just trying to help her out.
But you knew that when you agreed to let her leave the car at your house, right?
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
And since you did her a favor taking care of her daughter, that even though her car was damaged, she should say, forget it. We're even. Is that your defense?
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Clarissa Dixon, who is suing her cousin Natalie Martin for negligence.
Initially, when she got arrested on, I believe it was March 28th, the daycare called me in a panic for her daughter. And if I didn't leave my job and to drive 30 minutes away to pick up Jordan, then she was gonna go to CPS, Child Protective Services. So then it put me in a bind. So I'm like, okay, that's worse for my little cousin to be in CPS.
So you made a choice to go get her daughter?
Yes, ma'am. I did make that choice to get her daughter.
And so you say she owes you for that? Is that what you're saying?
I believe it should be taken in consideration, at least.
That you did her a favor?
Yes, ma'am.
And since you did her a favor taking care of her daughter and caring for her the couple of weeks or so you were in jail, that even though her car was damaged, that she should say, forget it. We're even. Is that your defense?
No, ma'am, not that we're even, but I've been there, like I said, since she was a little girl, helping her out whenever little problems arise. And
You're 18 years older than her.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you can't go back and start adding stuff up.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not the way you do things. Because when you give, you're supposed to give free-heartedly, and you're supposed to give according to as you want to give. And what you gave to her, what you did for her and her children or her child should have been done from your heart. So now you don't start kind of trying to add it up and start saying, and I did this, and I did A, and I did B, and I did C, so therefore, no, this is not the game we're gonna play.
Yes, ma'am.
We're dealing with a certain set of facts and circumstances. She asked you to take care of her car. Not even take care of it. She asked you to leave her car parked. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then because it was street parking, it meant she's asking you to move it on street sweeping days on one side and on the opposite side on the other street sweeping day.
No, ma'am.
Why did it have to be moved?
So because there is certain parking on Mondays, you can only park on one side and Tuesdays the others. So I would have to wake up 6 a.m., early. I already have my own kids to deal with, but that was just a nuisance, right? And she didn't ask me. She just assumed.
No, she said the girlfriend brought the car to you and asked you if she could leave the car there and if you would do that for her. No one asked you.
So her girlfriend is the middleman. So I never spoke to Clarissa.
But you were asked to leave her car there, yes or no?
I took the keys.
Okay. You were asked to be able to move the car.
Well, I have street parking, so if the car was going to stay there, I would have to move the car.
And you knew that when you agreed to leave the car there, right?
Yes, ma'am, that I have to
Or
move
you could have told the girlfriend, no, you take the car with you.
Right.
But you didn't do that either, right?
I did not ask her why she didn't take the car.
Did she call you from jail?
She did call me, Judge.
And did you tell her that everything was okay?
It was okay.
Did you tell her that you weren't driving the car?
I did not tell her I drove the car. Well, I had to drive the car,
Why?
for the sweeping, for those weeks.
You drove it to the beach or somebody drove it to the beach?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Why you drive her car to the beach? You didn't have a car?
Oh, I do have a car. It's just that the muffler was really loud, and when I was driving, the brakes thing is new to me, because when I was driving, I didn't hear anything when I was
But
moving
why
the car.
did you drive her car versus your car?
Because my car was really loud with the muffler, and it's just terrible. And there was nothing wrong with her car from what I heard or saw. So,
But she asked you not to drive her car.
right, but I was driving her car anyway from side to side of the streets, right? So I didn't feel like it was a
Moving
big
the car
deal.
from one side of the street to the other is much less risky than taking the car down to the beach or getting on the highway and going further with the car. And you, being the 18-year older cousin, know that very well. You know there's a big difference in getting in a car, driving it to the other side of the street versus driving it to the beach. Now, come on. Don't play with me like that. Please don't.
Yes,
Please
ma'am. Vandalism can happen anywhere, Judge.
Vandalism can happen anywhere.
Yes.
And vandalism could have happened on your street.
Yes, ma'am.
But vandalism didn't happen on your street because you had the car parked somewhere else where it wasn't supposed to be.
Yes, ma'am. But it wasn't my intention. If I would have known.
Of course it wasn't your intention that the car get vandalized. I'm not suggesting that at all.
Okay.
But you were asked not to drive it except to move it from one side of the street to the other to avoid parking violations. Now you got other violations in the city of Santa Monica. Why?
That's the thing. That doesn't make sense. It couldn't have been from at the beach when I went with the kids. So maybe I missed a couple mornings of the sweep.
Do you have the parking violations?
I do indeed.
Let me see them. Because it'll tell me exactly where they took place. You live in Santa Monica?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It said it was issued to your vehicle at 1447, and I don't want to give the exact address. So it seems like those were parking violations on the street. Not, is that address your home address?
No.
Is that your home address?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see this?
I did not.
Coming up,
Yes, I do understand I shouldn't have moved her car, but again, mine wasn't in the certain state to take the kids to the beach. You know, I'm having it rough. I am a single parent too.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Clarissa Dixon, who is suing her cousin Natalie Martin for negligence.
Okay, tell her, look at that address and see if that is your home address.
Yes,
Because that's where the citation says
Can you
where the
confirm
car
if
was
that
parked.
matches your home address?
it does.
Thank you.
Is that your home address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it was parked on the street at the home. Maybe one day she didn't get up in time. You can't fault her for that. So I'm not going to order her to reimburse you for those two violations. Not at all.
I would like to note that on those parking violations, it does say that they're dated on May 20th and May 27th,
It did say that.
and I was arrested on May 12th.
You said your court date was May 12th. Oh, yeah, court
Yeah.
date was May 12th.
And then that's when I,
Right, and that's what I'm saying. You arrested May 12th. The car is parked in front of her house. So a couple of days, I guess she didn't get up to move it in time.
May I speak, Judge?
Yes.
It's not only her, but in our family, I'm used as a doormat, and I understand I need to speak up for myself more. This was dropped into my lap. I feel like, what kind of cousin or family member would I be if I just turned my back at that moment? And yes, I do understand I shouldn't have moved her car, but again, mine wasn't in the certain state to take the kids to the beach. You know, I'm having it rough. I am a single parent too. I have two kids, she has one. So I'm trying the best that I could as well. So I just felt like I needed grace. I did my due diligence. I felt really sorry. I filed the police report. There were witnesses there that said there were little boys on skateboards or whatever. But again, vandalism could have happened anywhere. I understood I moved the car.
How much, do you have car insurance? Automobile insurance?
I only have liability insurance.
Right.
Oh, you didn't have vandalism.
No.
Coming up,
You have to learn to protect yourself. It's okay to say no. Each of us has to protect ourselves from other people.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Clarissa Dixon, who is suing her cousin Natalie Martin for negligence.
So why don't you share in that responsibility? Come on now.
I don't feel the need.
You got to put a value on her caring for your child. You got to put a value on her looking and keeping your car in shape. She got to put a value on her doing you a favor as well and doing something for you. It was not done out of mischievousness. It was not done out of being angry or just being rude. She took your child and her children to the beach, gave them a day out, an outing. You got to have some grace for that.
She only had my
California.
child for a couple of days.
What do you mean only a couple of days?
After I got arrested, my child was only in Natalie's care for a couple of days, and then she went to Riverside with
You had
her.
6 weeks.
I actually got out in 4 weeks. I got out 2 weeks
So
earlier.
she was only with her 2 days?
She was only with her for a few days, and then Jordan, my 3-year-old daughter, went to Riverside to stay with her grandmother on her dad's side.
Is that a
so
fact?
she was not there the whole entire time.
I got it.
May I add, ma'am, that yes, I did not have Jordan the whole time, but up until she went to court, so from the end of March, she stayed with me rent-free, running up the bills, never paid me anything also.
You feel like, what was the word you used in terms of your family?
That they used me as a doormat.
Okay, so you have to learn to protect yourself. People will treat you as you allow them to treat you. But it's up to you. Each of us has to protect ourselves from other people. And people will use you as much as you allow them to use you.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
Your cousin did you a favor.
I hear
Your
that.
cousin did something for you, but there is a difference. She just went to an outing on the beach, and the car was damaged by vandals.
Can we also add my daughter's iPad to that? I do have a receipt of purchase of that. That was for $249.
No, and you know why? That was negligence on your part. Because your daughter's 3, and you should have said to her, take the baby's iPad out the car. You knew the iPad was in the car. She didn't know exactly what was in the car. Again, no. It's vandalism. All right? And that's what happens. So I want you to share. I got it all. You said $3,283. I'm knocking out that $228. I'm knocking out the iPad. And then the cost of the damage to the windows was $2,814. And I'm ordering you all to share in that. So that's $1,407 each. Judgment for as indicated.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,407.
I can't wait for us to get back into just us being cousins and having just the relationship that we had prior to this.
No, I'm gonna need some space. I'm gonna take what the judge said and start saying no from now on.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.